Hey guys, Grim here with another Bless Unleashed video. Today we're looking at the dungeon, the Dreamscale Ruins Hall of the Eclipse. This is semi-pug run, 2 pugs and 3 of our guys. I apologize in advance for my voice. I caught a cold, so it's a bit off. Hopefully it's gonna be fine. I'm not gonna be cutting this video. I'll link timestamps for the bosses. Also, I forgot to change my blessing during this run, so on the first boss, before the kill of the first boss, I was in crafting blessing. So the first thing here is this corridor that you need to activate this lever that will open the gate, but the gate is only open for a fixed period of time, so you need to get to the other side quick. What you can do actually is 4 people running towards the door, and 1 guy who's the fastest due to the movement skills, or just better in dodging things. This 1 guy should pull the lever. Decent amount of trash in this dungeon that you need to clear. But it's mainly before the first boss. After the first boss, there's very little trash, and actually between boss number 2 and number 3, there is no trash. You just go straight up from one to the other. It's better not to die here, or just don't get up at the pyre, because you'll have to cross this corridor with the droplets again. So it's better just pay attention, try to not die, so you don't have to be resurrected. All you need to do here is just clear the trash, and after that you go right. Don't bother with the mobs that's standing to the left. Just kill everything you pull and go right. When you finish the rest of the trash, have two people activate the signs. It actually teaches you one of the mechanics from the boss. Activate the signs and then just dash to one location, and it will activate this little tornado that you will also need to do this at the boss itself. Then you have another corridor. It's just frogs. Well, I suppose you can call them frogs. I don't know. So half frogs, half mushrooms. You just basically just run through. It's a little puzzle room. If you have trouble, you can actually hit them, and then they won't spin. The first boss is the water elemental. He doesn't move, he just stands in place and casting all sorts of things. In general, I would say that it's probably the hardest boss out of 3. At least he's got a lot of attacks that you need to dodge. It's especially painful for the melee because sometimes he does his, I don't know what you can call these abilities, but just like water pumping from the ground. And the way it works, it's actually, this is the way I figured out that I'm in the wrong blessing. The way it works, that it actually chases the player, the exact player that it chooses. So if you stand in melee, be sure to stand in place where you have enough time to figure out that it is going on you and dodge it. Other than that, there are a number of abilities, like he points at you and shoots, which you have to dodge, and then spreading the big water balls and also a small water balls. But now we're looking at his main transitionary ability, where two people, it's not at the same time, it's at a different time. Two people, one guy gets red mark and he can barely move. You can only dash and you're losing some HP. And then the second guy has the blue mark. The blue mark doesn't encumber you that much, so it's better that the blue mark move towards the red mark. When they meet, they become this small tornado that slows down the water. So that's the main mechanic on how you avoid dying on transitionary phase. You just stand behind that, and then there is a room to dodge this. So boss gonna repeat this phase from time to time, and actually after a certain time there will be 2 walls of water that you need to dodge from 2 sides. So you have to kind of place your tornadoes in the right place so you have enough time. Usually it's better to spread them more apart than we did, but this time it's fine, since it's only 1 wall of water. If we had 2 walls, potentially we would have a problem this time. So I ideally spread them apart more, place one to the left and the other one to the right. Of course, it's good if you are in team with the voice, you can coordinate that, or just prearrange that. The first one we place here and the second one we place here, and then you won't have any problems. This ability with the pale rose or orbs, I guess, basically just small orbs. You can get one-shotted by that, so just avoid at all cost. Basically this fight is just about avoiding things. Just if you do well at avoiding the abilities, you'll be fine. I think the second wall actually goes from the third time when he does that. Yeah, so that's the third time. I have 2 walls, but because we placed them well, it's actually not a problem. So we were able to finish him off really, really clean here. After you've cleared another pack of trash, you can face the second boss. Well, in essence, there are two bosses here. Their HP is not shareable, so you can basically kill one and then kill the other. It doesn't matter. It just the way you do it depends on how the fight will go. We usually just focus the shaman, the Chitras, because what it will do when you push him to the first phase, he will activate the shield, and the second boss will start dashing across the battlefield. He will dash 2 times. It's very easy to dodge. The shaman himself doesn't do much, and it's just we find it easier this way because first of all, it's easier for everybody to hit shaman because he's standing in place and just casting, whereas the melee guy, he runs around like smashing and you have to constantly dodge. And also the second empowered phase of the melee guy of Thematsu is fairly easy. So if you want to take a different approach, you can first kill him, but they're gonna be at different phases. Like that phase, the shaman will be in the beginning, like casting his fire to people. I don't know. It's just inconvenient. So I advise to everybody basically, if you're struggling, take this tactic. Just don't hit the Matsu too hard. Because if you do, you risk in pushing him to the phase, and then you risk him phasing, or both of them phase at the same time. That can actually also happen. So you just need to survive 2 phases, basically, of Chitras, and then what's gonna happen after the Chitras is dead, the Thematsu will become enraged. Well, by the way, basically all you have to dodge during this phase from Chitras is just dodge his fireballs. So Thematsu will become enraged, and as you can see, the room becomes covered in fire, most of it, apart from the middle circle. So if you have a priest with shields, like, it's very easy. You can just basically ignore all of his basic attacks. But then from time to time, what he's gonna do, he's gonna again do his dashes. And it's also not that hard to avoid, because before the dash, he actually, you can see where he's aiming. But still, as you will see later on, sometimes people die. So it's just for like paying attention, basically. So he will do that 2 times. You actually get a clue, like it says, like he loses his nerve. So there's the dash, and there's -4. So yeah, that happens sometimes. I also almost died here as well. Like, I barely, I don't know why I made that dash, but yeah, I did so. Try to just dodge that, and other than that, it's very simple. You just avoid his hits, or if you have priest with shields, just shield it and just stand in the middle and circle damaging him. That's pretty much all the fight. And if you got to the fire, if you got knocked back to the fire, yeah, just go back. So that's very easy boss if you do it right. If you try to do it differently, I think it's gonna be significantly harder for you if you try to bring the melee guy first, to bring him down first, or if you try to kill them simultaneously. That's also another way of doing that, because then you can avoid like empowered phase. But the empowered phase is so easy that I think just stick to it. So the last boss is also very easy. Like, it's very easy. It's like a big giant worm, basically. All it does, the only like ability that can basically one-shot you is when he's like charging around. For some reason, I haven't seen this ability the last 2 runs we did this. Maybe because like we're just doing too much damage and just skipping this phase, but I haven't seen it. But if this phase, so this phase is not gonna be on this video, but if this phase appears, just dodge, because you're just gonna be running around, charging from one side to the other side. So that's pretty much the whole fight. He's gonna be running around trying to smack people with his tail, and there are just void zones that you need to avoid. The only phase is what is happening now. He's basically summoning his prey, and this little guy, he will move towards you, and if he succeeds and the boss eats him, he will recover, I think, 10 or 15% HP. So the problem with this phase, when we were analyzing that, like way before, it's like it's better to just attack the boss during this phase and let him eat the guy, because you will do more damage to the boss during the time when this little mob comes to the boss, than if you try to kill him and avoid the boss consuming him. So, not to mention, it's way more convenient. You just stand near the boss. Like, you can stand near the boss. Again, if you have priest, you got shields, you got circle, you got all the buffs, and you just go. You just go with the damage. Everybody pops everything, and you do so much damage to the boss that, yeah, he's gonna heal up back a little bit, but you will do way more damage during that phase. So just do that. If for some reason you're doing so little damage that he actually heals more than the damage you did, this means that even if you try to kill this mob, you probably wouldn't succeed. And not only you will not do any damage to the boss during that, he will also consume the little guy and restore the health anyway. So just hit the boss. Just hit the boss. Just know that this phase is gonna be there where you can stand there and just hit, and the only thing you need to dodge is like these circle AoEs, and that's it. So that's pretty much the whole fight. The phase is gonna repeat itself again. This time he's not gonna leave, obviously, to consume this guy. So that's it for this dungeon. It's pretty easy. I would say the only like challenging bugs will be the first boss. The second should be the walk in the park if you prearrange your strategy, and everybody follow that. The first boss also you can prearrange where you put the tornado. That's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.